make it short. So I'm going to read first of all from Chaitanya Charitamrita about a chapter on the glories of Lord Advaita Acharya. So starting with, this is chapter 6, Adi Leela, chapter 6. Text 4. We'll start here and just kind of keep reading it. I might skip some sections. It's 120 or something verses in the chapter. I don't know how long that takes, so I might skip some sections. Can everybody hear me okay? My voice is not good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
You shaking your head no?
Yes, Mataji.
You can hear me?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Am I next to speaker?
Okay. I said, is he okay? He's going like this. I'm sure he's saying no. Okay. Okay, Adi 6.4. Lord Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu, whose main function is to create the cosmic world through the actions of Maya. 6.5. Because he is non-different from Hari, the Supreme Lord, he is called Advaita. And because he propagates the cult of devotion, he is called Acharya. He is the Lord and the incarnation of the Lord's devotee. Therefore I take shelter of him. Those two verses are from initially the Chaitanya Charitamrita starts with a certain series of verses glorifying every member of the Panchatattva. And so these are the two that he's restating them, he's going to explain them. These are on Lord Advaita Acharya. So 6.6. Sri Advaita Acharya is indeed directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. His glory is beyond the conception of ordinary living beings. Mahavishnu performs all the functions for the creation of the universes. Sri Advaita Acharya is his direct incarnation. That Purusha creates and maintains with his external energy. He creates innumerable universes in his pastimes. By his will, he manifests himself in unlimited forms, in which he enters each and every universe. Sri Advaita Acharya is a plenary part of that Purusha, and so is not different from him. Indeed, Sri Advaita Acharya is not separate, but is another form of that Purusha. He, Advaita Acharya, helps in the pastimes of the Purusha, with whose material energy and by whose will he creates innumerable universes. Being a reservoir of all auspicious attributes, Sri Advaita Acharya is all auspicious for the world. His characteristics, activities, and name are always auspicious. Mahavishnu creates the entire material world with millions of his parts, energies, and incarnations. Just as the external energy consists of two parts, the efficient cause, nimitta, and the material cause, upadana. Let me explain this efficient thing. We use the word efficient usually to mean you get the most effect out of the least effort, like that. But efficient also means, in the dictionary, it also means like the cause of things, the reason they happen. So this is how it's meant here. The efficient cause, nimitta, and the material cause, upadana. Maya being the efficient cause, and pradhana the material cause. Pradhana is the material energy, the basic form of the material energy. So Maya, the illusion, this force of illusion, is the efficient cause, the effective cause. And pradhana is the material cause, that's what it's made of. So Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, assumes two forms to create the material world, with the efficient and material causes too. Just as the external energy has two parts, so Lord Vishnu also. So it says here, next verse, 6.16. Lord Vishnu himself is the efficient nimitta cause of the material world, and Narayana in the form of Sri Advaita is the material cause, upadana. That doesn't mean he's made of material energy, but that means he's Lord Shiva. So this is, he's Advaita Acharya, and he's Mahavishnu, and he's Lord Sadashiva. So I'm going to try to bring that together because it's the same thing, but we don't think of it that way. Okay, 6.17. Lord Vishnu, in his efficient aspect, glances over the material energy, and Sri Advaita, as the material cause, creates the material world. Actually, I will stop and explain this. In the Brahma Samhita, if you read, he describes like a divine halo as a dim reflection of the Brahma Jyoti. So, it's very hard to understand, but if you study it a while, you can sum it up that essentially Lord Shiva completes the glance of Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu glances at the material energy to impregnate the material energy with the living entity so they can meet the vision. Then Lord Shiva is the completion of his glance. Because as Mahavishnu, he doesn't consort with immaterial energy, but he glances, and his glance contains the impregnation, the souls. And Shiva, being the husband of material energy, completes the glance. So essentially, if you study it a while, it sort of sorts itself out that way. It's really hard to understand Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's language. It's very lofty. But anyways, go over and over and over again. It appears to be saying that. So I'll read that verse again, 617. Lord Vishnu, in his efficient aspect, glances over the material energy, and Sri Advaita, as the material cause, creates the material world. So Advaita is Sada Shiva, but he's also Lord Vishnu. So anyways, okay, 618. Although the Sankhya philosophy accepts that the material ingredients are the cause, the creation of the world never arises from dead matter. The Lord infuses the material ingredients with his own creative potency. Then by the power of the Lord, creation takes place. In the form of Advaita, he infuses the material ingredients with creative energy. Therefore, Advaita is the original cause of creation. Sri Advaita Acharya is the creator of millions and millions of universes, and by his expansions, as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, he maintains each and every universe. There's Mahavishnu breathes out all the universes, and he expands and enters into each one as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. So millions of universes, millions of Garbhodakashayi Vishnus. So Sri Advaita is the principal limb, Anga, of Narayan. Srimad Bhagavatam speaks of limb, Anga, as a plenary portion, Amsa, of the Lord. O Lord of Lords, you are the seer of all creation. You are indeed everyone's dearest life. This is a quote from the Bhagavatam. Are you not, therefore, my father Narayan? This must be, I didn't look up where this is from, but this is Lord Brahma speaking to Krishna. Narayan refers to one whose abode is in the water born from Nara, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. And that Narayan is your plenary portion. All of your plenary portions are transcendental. They are absolute and are not creations of Maya. This verse describes that the limbs and plenary portions of the Lord are all spiritual. They have no relationship with the material energy. Why has Sri Advaita been called a limb and not a part? The reason is that limb implies greater intimacy. Sri Advaita, who is the reservoir of virtues, is the main limb of Mahavishnu. His full name is Advaita, for he is identical in all respects with that Lord. Advaita means one with. He's one with the Lord. Now, Advaita philosophy is saying that we're all one with them. So we don't accept Advaita philosophy, but Advaita Acharya is one with the Lord. So his name is Advaita. No difference here. And then there's a pastime. It's going to kind of allude to it, but not say it directly, where Advaita became a little felt left out and a little bit transcendentally envious of those that Lord Chaitanya chastised, because he wanted to worship Lord Chaitanya. He wanted to be chastised too, because he wanted to worship Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya wanted to worship him because he was in the role in those pastimes as a senior, as an elder. And so there was this little tension between them, you might say. And Advaita, who was one with the Lord, started preaching Advaita philosophy just to make Lord Chaitanya mad. And Lord Chaitanya got mad at him, and then he was really happy. So he wanted to be chastised. So, okay. As he had formerly created all the universes, now he decided to introduce the path of bhakti. He delivered all living entities by offering the gift of Krishna bhakti. He explained the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam in the light of devotional service. See, most of the time he preached the right way. Just that time he didn't. Okay, since he has no other occupation than to teach devotional service, his name is Advaita Acharya. He is the spiritual master of all devotees and is the most revered personality in the world. By a combination of these two names, his name is Advaita Acharya. Since he is a limb or part of the Lotus-side Supreme Lord, he also bears the name Kamalaksha. His associates have the same bodily features of the Lord. They all have 4 arms and are dressed in yellow garments like Narayan. Sri Advaita Acharya is the principal limb of the Supreme Lord. His truths, names, and attributes are all wonderful. And here's a little pastime, coming how he called down Lord Chaitanya. He worshipped Krishna with tulsi leaves and water of the Ganges, and called for him in a loud voice. He sat on the bank of the Ganges and had offered Ganges water and tulsi leaves to Krishna, called in a loud voice for Lord Chaitanya to come. Thus Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared on earth accompanied by his personal associates. It is through him, Advaita Acharya, that Lord Chaitanya spread the Sankirtan movement, and through him that he delivered the world. The glory and attributes of Advaita Acharya are unlimited. How can the insignificant living entities fathom them? Sri Advaita Acharya is a principal limb of Lord Chaitanya. Another limb of the Lord is Nityananda Prabhu. The devotees headed by Srivas are his smaller limbs. They are like his hands, face, and eyes, and his disc and other weapons. With all of them, Lord Chaitanya performed his pastimes, and with them he spread his missions. Thinking, he, Sri Advaita Acharya, is a disciple of Sri Madhavendra Puri, Lord Chaitanya obeys him, respecting as his spiritual master. To maintain the proper etiquette for the principles of religion, Lord Chaitanya bows down at the lotus feet of Sri Advaita Acharya with reverential prayers and devotion. Sri Advaita Acharya, however, considers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu his master, and he thinks of himself as a servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He forgets himself in the joy of that conception and teaches all living entities, "You are servants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." That conception of servitude to Sri Krishna generates such an ocean of joy in the soul that even the joy of oneness with the Absolute, if multiplied 10 million times, could not compare to a drop of it. He says, Nityananda and I are servants of Lord Chaitanya. Nowhere else is there such joy as that which is tasted in this emotion of servitude. There's a long section because it would take time of examples of all the great personalities who are joyful being servants of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna. So, I'd love to read that, but it will take too long. So, everybody is Krishna's father, Srimati Radharani, all the associates of Lord Chaitanya, everybody, with all the pastimes. Excuse me. Let's pick it up here. What to speak of others, even Lord Baladev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is full of emotions like pure friendship and fraternal love. He also considers himself a servant of Lord Krishna. Indeed, who is there who does not have this conception of being a servant of Lord Krishna? He who is Shesha, Sankarsana, with his thousands of mouths, serves Sri Krishna by assuming 10 forms. Rudra, who is an expansion of Sadashiva, and who appears in unlimited universes, is also a Gunavatar, qualitative incarnation, and is the ornament of all the demigods in the endless universes. He also desires only to be a servant of Lord Krishna. Sri Sadashiva always says, I'm a servant of Lord Krishna. So I'm going to, this is 679, I'm going to read the purport. This is about Sadashiva. Rudra, of course, is Shiva. Shiva appeared from between the eyebrows of Lord Brahma, because Lord Brahma was angry and was trying to hold it in, because the four Kumaras didn't want to reproduce. They wanted to just be spiritual. They didn't want to create any population. So Lord Brahma was supposed to populate the universe, felt angry, but didn't want to be angry with them for that. But it was between his eyebrows, and it came out as Shiva, or Rudra. And that was Shiva's appearance in the universe. He was born as Rudra. However, Sadashiva means eternal Shiva. So there's eternal Shiva. He's not just born in the universe and starts to exist then as part of creation. And Sadashiva is Mahavishnu. So I'm going to read this whole purport here. There are 11 expansions of Rudra, or Lord Shiva. They are as follows, so it gives the names. Besides these expansions, there are 8 forms of Rudra called earth, water, fire, air, sky, the sun, the moon, and Somayaji. Generally, all these Rudras have 5 faces, 3 eyes, and 10 arms. Sometimes it is found that Rudra is compared to Brahma and considered a living entity. Because Brahma is a Jiva soul, right? And so, but when Rudra is explained to be a partial expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is compared to Shesha. Lord Shiva is therefore simultaneously an expansion of Lord Vishnu and, in his capacity for annihilating the creation, one of the living entities. As an expansion of Lord Vishnu, he is called Hara, and he is transcendental to the material qualities. But when he is in touch with Tamoguna, he appears contaminated by the material modes of nature. This is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam's Brahma Samhita. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto, it is stated that Lord Rudra is always associated with material nature when she is in the neutral, unmanifested stage. But when the modes of material nature are agitated, he associates with material nature from a distance. In the Brahma Samhita, and I can't explain that, I don't know exactly what it is. In the Brahma Samhita, the relationship between Vishnu and Lord Shiva is compared to that between milk and yogurt. Milk is converted into yogurt by certain additives, but although milk and yogurt have the same ingredients, they have different functions. Similarly, Lord Shiva is an expansion of Lord Vishnu, yet because of his taking part in the annihilation of the cosmic manifestation, he is considered to be changed, like milk converted into yogurt. In the Puranas, it is found that Shiva appears sometimes from the heads of Brahma and sometimes from the head of Vishnu. The annihilator, Rudra, is born from Sankarsana and the ultimate fire to burn the whole creation. In the Vayu Purana, there's a description of Sadashiva in one of the Vaikuntha planets. That Sadashiva is a direct expansion of Lord Krishna's form for pastimes. It is said that Sadashiva, Lord Shambhu, is an expansion from the Sadashiva in the Vaikuntha planets, Lord Vishnu, and that his consort, Mahamaya, is an expansion of Brahma Devi or Lakshmi. Mahamaya is the origin or birthplace of material nature. So you can see it's all, the concepts are all interwoven, and actually, to say that Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu, and then to say that Advaita Acharya is Sadashiva, it's not really a contradiction, and although it seems like it is. So sometimes it says one, sometimes it says the other, and so I was asked just this afternoon after cooking Raj Bhoga if I would do this class in the morning. So I was trying to figure that out, and I taught myself trying to look up about Sadashiva, so that's how I found some of these things. But okay, intoxicated by ecstatic love for Lord Krishna, he, Sadashiva, becomes overwhelmed and incessantly dances without clothing and sings about Lord Krishna's qualities and pastimes. All the emotions, whether those of father, mother, teacher, or friend, are full of sentiments of servitude. That is the nature of love for Krishna. So, quote, I am a servant of Lord Chaitanya, a servant of Lord Chaitanya, I am a servant of Lord Chaitanya, and a servant of his servants, unquote. Saying this, Advaita Prabhu dances and loudly sings. Then at the next moment he quietly sits down. This is describing these different kinds of ecstasies. The source of the sentiment of servitude is indeed Lord Balaram. The plenary expansions who follow him are all influenced by that ecstasy. Lord Sankarsana, who is one of his incarnations, always considers himself a devotee. Another of his incarnations, Lakshman, who is very beautiful and opulent, always serves Lord Ram. And Lakshman is the one who goes to the forest with Lord Ram. The Vishnu who lies on the causal ocean is an incarnation of Lord Sankarsana, and accordingly the emotion of being a devotee is always present in his heart. Advaita Acharya is a separate expansion of him. He always engages in devotional service with his thoughts, words, and actions. By his words he declares, I am a servant of Lord Chaitanya. Thus with his mind he always thinks, I am his devotee. With his body he worshipped the Lord by offering Ganges water and tulsi leaves. And by preaching devotional service he delivered the entire universe. So the original, was I making it hard to hear? Is it all right? Wait, you can all hear me okay? Okay. The original Bhakti Avatar is Sankarsana. Sri Advaita is counted among such incarnations. It's describing incarnations about. So I can't do everything. I can't cover everything. The glories of Sri Advaita Acharya are boundless, for his sincere vibrations brought about Lord Chaitanya's descent upon this earth. He liberated the universe by preaching Sankirtan. Thus the people of the world received the treasure of love of Godhead through the mercy of Sri Advaita. Who can describe the unlimited glories of Advaita Acharya? I write here as much as I have known from great authorities. Madhava-priya our obeisances 10 million times to the lotus feet of Sri Advaita Acharya. Please do not take offense at this. Your glories are as fathomless as millions of oceans and seas. Speaking of its measure is a great offense indeed. All glories to Sri Advaita Acharya, all glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the superior Lord Nityananda. Thus in 2 verses I have described the truth concerning Advaita Acharya. Now, O devotees, please hear about the 5 truths, Panchatattva. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita following in their footsteps. And that is that. That's the main chapter. Let's see. A couple more things, shorter things. In Srimad Bhagavatam 4.639, section. Oh, this is where, after the whole mess of Daksha's sacrifice, and it was all destroyed because Daksha didn't invite Shiva. Sati wanted to go. Sati went, was offended because Daksha was rude to Lord Shiva. And so Sati sat down, meditated on fire and burned up her body, left her body. And after that, they had to patch things up. By that time, Lord Shiva, who had been very angry, Lord Shiva became very angry and he sent all his servants, millions of servants, he sent to ghosts and things like that. They tore up the sacrificial arena, cut off Daksha's head, all kinds of things. And so then, afterwards, Lord Brahma said, you're going to have to go and you're going to have to ask Lord Shiva's pardon. So at that time, Lord Shiva was free of anger. He was just sitting and meditating. And of course, later on, Sati took another birth and became his wife again. But they found him. They came to offer obeisances. He was sitting under a tree meditating. And so that's the scene here. All the sages and demigods, headed by Indra, offered their respectful obeisances unto Lord Shiva with folded hands. Lord Shiva was dressed in saffron garments and absorbing trance, thus appearing to be the foremost of all sages. So there's something then to read. Okay. So Lord Shiva, of course, does not engage in. The words Manu Mam Adyam are significant here, referred to the verse, because they mean a philosopher, or one who is thoughtful and can think very nicely. Such a man is called Manu. Lord Shiva is described in this verse as the chief of all thinkers. Lord Shiva, of course, does not engage in useless mental speculation, but as stated in the previous verse, is always thoughtful regarding how to deliver the demons from their fallen condition of life. It is said that during the advent of Lord Chaitanya, Sadashiva appeared as Advaita Prabhu, and Advaita Prabhu's chief concern was to elevate the fallen conditioned souls to the platform of devotional service to Lord Krishna. Since people were engaged in useless occupations, which would continue their material existence, Lord Shiva in the form of Lord Advaita appealed to the Supreme Lord to appear as Lord Chaitanya to deliver these illusioned souls. Actually, Lord Chaitanya appeared on the request of Lord Advaita. Similarly, Lord Shiva has a sampradaya, the Rudra sampradaya. He is always thinking about the deliverance of the fallen souls as exhibited by Lord Advaita Prabhu. So, there's also another state where, in the Krishna book, where Nanda Maharaj and his family and all the coward men decided to go and worship Lord Shiva. Does that sound our character? They wanted to worship Lord Shiva, but it says that this is after bathing in the Saraswati River and worshiping Lord Sadashiva, a form of Lord Vishnu. They decided to spend the night in the forest. So they were worshiping Sadashiva, who is Mahavishnu, like that. So, okay, I will briefly tell pastime. Wrap it up. There's a really cool pastime. 3 personalities of Godhead in their interactions. When Lord Chaitanya was first in his ecstasy, before that he was concealing who he was, but then as he was initiating, he was in his ecstasy of being a Krishna devotee. and he wanted to go to Vrindavan. Well, he was a long ways away from Vrindavan, but he was in such ecstasy wandering around the forest. So Nityananda told him, this is the Jumuna River, you're in Vrindavan. You got a plan here. Because he and Advaita wanted to feed Lord Chaitanya, the great priest. So all of a sudden, Advaita turns up, and Lord Chaitanya starts doubting the situation. He says, why are you here? How did you know I was in Vrindavan? And so Advaita spills the beans. He says, well, actually you're not in Vrindavan, but it's not different from Vrindavan because it's the Ganges River and it's also the Jamuna River. And so Lord Chaitanya criticized Lord Nityananda for cheating him, but he went home with Lord Advaitacharya, he and his wife had cooked this vast feast, and he was offering it to Krishna, and he had one third of it on a metal plate, and then he had these 2 giant banana leaves, and he had the rest of it on that. And so Krishna, or Lord Chaitanya just, then it assumed it was a normal thing offering to the Lord. How was that a trick? Anyways, so anyway, they had Raj Bhoga, the offering, and then they had noon arti, and then, okay, so Lord Chaitanya says, very, very nice. Now I'll give you a small banana leaf, I'll just take a little rice, because I'm a sannyasi. Well, I know, because he had just taken sannyas, that's why. So he had taken sannyas and he wasn't going to eat very much. And Advaita started arguing with him, don't pull your tricks on me, I know who you are. You can eat 10 million times this, so sit down and be quiet and eat. And meanwhile, Lord Nityananda was saying, I've been fasting for 3 days. This is barely going to touch my fast. Now, how are you going to even break my fast? Why do I have to still fast? It was mountains of, described beautifully, and, verses and verses and verses of all that was cooked. So, Advaita wanted to serve him. So they were like arguing like that, 3 personalities of Godhead. So then they took prasad like that. And then still Nityananda was complaining he didn't get enough, so he threw the rice. And some of it stuck to Advaita's leg. And put him in ecstasy. He was dancing. So anyway, that's just a cool, it's 3 personalities of Godhead and how they were having a pastime interrupting, playing different roles. So I guess I will stop there. Any questions or discussions or additions?
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
If you do, when I'm thinking of Lord Shiva and he's meditating on the Supreme Lord, is that the Vishnu form of Shankar?
Oh, they're all one. They're all Vishnu. And Lord Shiva is in a way Vishnu form and in a way almost like a jiva, but not a jiva.
But there's like something that comes to my mind that when he's meditating on the Supreme Lord, there's a certain form of Vishnu. So I was wondering if that was...
Well, he's as Advaitacharya, he's meditating on, Lord Nityananda is meditating, Lord Balaram is meditating on, they're all meditating on Krishna. And then Krishna is having his pastimes, so maybe he's meditating on them too. It's like an exchange, But it's a pastime. So on Lord Shiva, he's sometimes almost like a jiva because when he deals with the material energy, with the mode of ignorance and with destruction, he's considered affected by that. Although he's transcendental, he's an expansion of Vishnu Tattva. But he's not exactly Vishnu Tattva anymore either. So, because he doesn't have quite all of the qualities that Vishnu Tattva has. He has 5 more qualities than jivas have. I just read that too. But it's just a matter of loving relationships, really. And he's considered to be thus, but he's still an expansion of Vishnu. But then in a way we all are expansions of Vishnu too. Jiva Tattva is an extension of Vishnu Tattva, but we're separated expansions. He's somewhat separated and somewhat not separated. That's the best I can do, folks. I was studying it all afternoon. Anybody wants to add to it or say something more?
Madhava, I have a comment. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know if it's a question or a comment, but I've heard 2 explanations of Advaita. One is that he is non-different from Krishna because he is an expansion of Mahavishnu. And so there's another explanation that sometimes I've heard that people say that Advaita is one without a second. There's no one like him. So,
Maybe because there's only Shiva is Shiva Tattva. Could it be like that? 'Cause
I'm not sure what applies to Advaita Acharya, but
well, Advaita, his name Advaita refers to the fact that he's one with Vishnu.
Krishna.
He's one with Krishna. He's Vishnu Tattva. But on the other hand, if we're talking Shiva Tattva, it's not a big group. It's only Shiva. The Shiva Tattva. So I don't know exactly what you're referring to. Might be like that.
But he's also, he wants to serve. He also, like, he's Mahavishnu, but he wants to serve. He wants to be, a devotee, serving the Supreme Lord, even though, like you're saying, the Supreme Lord considers him an elder. So
Yeah.
he doesn't, Lord Chaitanya would get upset, I think, when Advaita Acharya would try to get the best of this.
And then Advaita Acharya would get upset if Lord Chaitanya respected him too much. So, because Advaita Acharya, of course, is godbrother of Lord Chaitanya's initiating spiritual master. So he wanted to treat him equal to his spiritual master, and Advaita Acharya wanted to treat him like his spiritual master. So.
it's more for the impersonalists that they say that all the jivas are one with the Supreme. So they're not different from Supreme. The word Advaita is a little confusing, especially for the impersonalists. I think for them, we give this explanation that, Advaita means one without a second.
I didn't see that in the things I read today, one without a second. One with Vishnu I saw, one with Krishna I saw. So I don't know what you're saying or what the context is, but I didn't see it today.
Awesome.
So I don't know what to say about it. Yes.
I'm sorry that I missed the first part of what you said when you were talking about Sadashiva. It doesn't seem to be there any kind of a dilemma that he is Sadashiva and Mahavishnu, because there's other examples of that as well. Lord Chaitanya, Radha and Krishna. It said that Haridas Thakur was Lord Brahma, and also I heard Prahlad. So, that doesn't present like any kind of a problem, I don't think. And then the other thing, one thing I heard in class today, and there were two things actually that I never heard. That one was that, this is what I was going to say, but maybe you explain this. I heard that Sadashiva, who I had no understanding of who that is actually, but Sadashiva is Lord Shiva before he comes in contact with the material energy. That's what Jayapataka Maharaj said today.
Well, there's a mention of Sadashiva in the spiritual world in Vaikuntha. So.
And then another thing he said was that somebody might ask, well, Advaita, he interceded to the Lord, please come, because things were so horrific, you have to save these people. And so someone might ask, well, he's Mahavishnu, why couldn't he do the job? And then Jayapataka Maharaj said, Mahavishnu can give liberation, but only Krishna can give Krishna prema. So that's why Lord Chaitanya had to come.
Because the purpose of Mahavishnu is to create the material world for us to be up to our ears in, So he was creating the material world all the time. Okay, I'm creating the material world, but please come and save these poor souls, like right now. That's his feeling. That's how he was praying on the bank of the Ganges. So it's like, we might say, why isn't he doing that now? It's worse now than it was then. Well, Lord Chaitanya is here, and Krishna is here in the form of the Sankirtan movement, the holy names. So look, here we are sitting here, we're getting all excited hearing these things. Who else is, the world doesn't know it, but he's here, so we're trying to spread this in the world. It's not that he's not here in the world, it's been accomplished by Lord Chaitanya, by Advaita.
And also every year before, just a few days before Gaur Purnima is the Shantipur festival, and ISKCON actually was asked to take over the feeding of the people. It's the day that when Lord Chaitanya was present once, such an amazing festival was going on. It was being put on by Advaita Acharya for the Tirobhav, the disappearance day of Madhava-priya, who was a spiritual master. And Lord Chaitanya was so pleased with all the arrangements that had been made that he gave the blessing that whoever took prasadam on that day, on that titi, that particular place and day, that they would get Govinda Bhakti, pure love for Lord Govinda. And so the ISKCON devotees go there every year and they make khichdi like you can't even believe. They feed 50,000 people. And they have just these vats and endless vats with a big chute going down that they fill up these vats with from the cooking pots that are like hot tubs, and it's
Like
just
a night
amazing.
No, with khichdi, like a big one.
Yeah, and then the devotees go and serve, and then that's the place, of course, where Lord Advaita called for Lord Chaitanya to come, and also that pastime you were telling about. It's commemorated there. There's a little temple with a painting of the three that taking prasadam, and it's really an amazing place to go and see and participate, and then make sure that you take prasadam that day. Sometimes it's our Ekadasi on that day, so we don't eat the khichdi, but still, if you take some Ekadasi prasad and just eat it there, it's okay. So.
How could it be our
It's because I guess it must be Gaudiya Mat. Sometimes it's calculated differently. So, and that man who is taking care of that place in Shantipur is actually there in the seminal line from Advaita. And the 13th or 14th generation, the man that was the in charge, the Mahant there, came and asked that ISKCON take over that feeding of the people, because it just was like, they just couldn't even deal with how many people would come. And even it used to be, it's in a real beautiful mango grove. It used to be kind of just a big free-for-all. People just come and sit down, and you couldn't even keep track of where you've been. But in the last years, they put up a corrugated metal enclosure, and they have like chokidars there, guards that people, they have to come in one place and sit down and serve and get up and go out the other. And it's just incredible to see it.
Okay, thank you all very much. I'll go to Acharya. Are we gonna have prasad outside, or?
It's gonna be in here, I'm just waiting for the okay.
Oh, okay.
Set it up.
Is it okay? Okay.
Shanti, Jai.